Hi, I trust this finds you well. Hope you got through the week okay. Here's a thought for parsha Tazria. This week's parsha and next week's parsha, Mitzorah, deals quite heavily with a Mitzorah, somebody who's been afflicted with tzara'at. Tzara'at was an ancient skin disease, and it involved skin discoloration, and we are taught that this was a physical manifestation, an expression of something that you had done wrong on a spiritual level, particularly slander, lashon hara. If you would speak negatively about others, the consequences would be tzara'at, this skin disease. And what would you do when you were afflicted, when you were experiencing this skin discoloration? You wouldn't go to your GP or your dermatologist, you would go straight to the Kohen, the Torah tells us. And the Kohen would then diagnose this tzara'at, and he would begin the process of your healing. Usually that involved isolation. You would be quarantined. And slowly you would be reintegrated back into society. And during that quarantine period, during that isolation period, you would contemplate and think about how you got there in the first place, how you can better your character and become a better person. What's interesting is this. The Torah spends quite a few pasukim discussing this idea. In fact, 47 verses. How many times does it mention Kohen in those 47 verses? No less than 45 times. That's a bit excessive. That's a bit of overemphasizing. Okay, you go to the Kohen, he diagnoses, he sends you into quarantine and you begin your healing process. But why 45 times you mention the word Kohen? Perhaps the answer is this. When this individual is quarantined, put into isolation, they would feel alone. So yes, the Kohen had a responsibility initially to diagnose, to be there for that person and begin the process of healing. But that support would continue all the way through. The Kohen would ensure that this individual did not feel alone, even whilst being in quarantine. And he would assist the reintegration back into society, back into life. That is what the Torah is telling us. There's nothing more hurtful, painful than somebody feeling alone, feeling isolated. We need to be there. The Kohen needs to be there. A Kohen represents compassion, sensitivity, understanding, being there for one another. That is the foundation of a community. That is what it means to be a part of Am Yisrael. That is what it means to be human. That when we share the burden together with somebody else, and obviously we have to put boundaries in place to ensure that we're looking after ourselves as well, but sharing the burden of others, ensuring that they feel our compassion, they feel our love and our sensitivity. That is the responsibility of all of us. That turns a very difficult situation, a nega, a pain, a disease, into something that breeds compassion, community, understanding, and love. May we be there for each other in the good times and in the difficult times. Wishing us all a Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisrael Chai.